Hi everybody, it is Sean once again. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for being a new subscriber. Thank you for all the positive words. Thank you for the positive comments that several of you have posted on my other video. I posted another video about what would you do if this happened. There's a gas station parking lot. There's a fight with like 5 or 6 individuals and then a gun was pulled. Well, YouTube really did not like that video and gave me a red for demonetization. I think I learned my lesson. I'm not supposed to show the actual violent video. If I do that, I need to, I think, reclassify it as 18 and over, something like that. But anyhow, they really didn't like that video. On this video, if you guys can please show the love and just press the like button and just show YouTube, hey, you know what, this guy has content that's not in violation of your policy that I find informative. Comment if you like it. I read all you guys' comments. Matter of fact, I am going to answer one of your questions. So I have right now in front of me my computer, and I read all the comments. And one of the comments, or actually this is a request. It's from Max Martinez. Excuse me guys, I need to look down at the screen so I can read it to you. He says, "Hey sir, anyway, can you make a video debriefing about an incident that occurred in Santa Monica today where a security officer stabbed an uncooperative in self-defense subject over not wearing a face mask inside of Vaughn's grocery store?" So this is a question from Max. I still have other questions that I need to answer from you guys. Some questions deserve a lot more time and research, so it does take me a while. If for some reason, if you feel that I'm ignoring you or not answering some of the comments that you have on other videos or requests, just send me a reminder, a friendly reminder on the next video. Hey, can you do a video on A, B, or C? And I'll do that. So I'm going to read you the story. There's no video on the actual event at this time. And if I had video right now because I got slapped by YouTube, I probably wouldn't even show it. But I'm going to read you the article here. So this is from Newsweek. I'll leave a link in the description. It says this: a customer at a Vaughn's supermarket in Santa Monica, California was stabbed by a security guard late Monday night after he allegedly became violent when employees asked him to wear a face mask, according to police. When I was first asked to make this video, honestly, I already have my bias. And that bias is that the media, they put these keywords out there that gets other people's attentions, that does the private security profession injustice. It says the headline is this: mask refusal leads to stabbing at California grocery store. Okay. Yes, it leads to, but every time I read these articles, almost every single time, I will support private security officers and I will support law enforcement officers. If it involves me looking bad on camera or on YouTube or any social media platform, I don't care. I will always back up law enforcement and private security if they're in the right. And most of the time, they're in the right. I know some of you might disagree. I think I've been wronged by private security in the past. But for the most part, most of the time, private security are doing the right thing and I will support them. So let me go on and discuss further this article. The Santa Monica Police Department said in a press release Tuesday that the customer entered the Vaughn store at around 10:35 p.m. without a face mask and began to, quote, cause a scene. Guys, the hours that are dangerous to all of you is typically when the sun goes down. So maybe about 7 o'clock p.m., between 7 o'clock p.m. and about 1 or 2, about 3 in the morning. So 7 p.m. to about 3 o'clock in the morning, these are dangerous times for you. And Vaughn's, depending on the neighborhood, they don't always attract the best customers. It says here this: witnesses told police that when employees approached the customer to wear a facial covering, he became belligerent and assaulted a staff member. Security guard then intervened and attempted to escort the customer out of the building, at which point a fight between the two ensued. During the altercation, the security guard produced a pocket knife and stabbed the suspect several times. He then called 911 and reported the incident to be in self-defense. Police said, good for him. Or her. It says this, Andre Berryman, a shopper who witnessed the fight, told CBS Los Angeles that the customer was bleeding profusely where the guard had stabbed him. Well, he stabbed him good. Stabbed him in an area where he stopped the fight. And then he said this, that was pretty much what happened. It was all behind him not wearing a mask, Berryman added. Police said they arrived on the scene to find the victim outside the grocery store and immediately began providing assistance until the Santa Monica Fire Department arrived. The customer was then taken to a local hospital where police said he is recovering and is in stable condition. The customer is recovering at a local hospital and has been listed as stable at the hospital. He refused to identify himself or provide any statements of the incident. At this time, no arrests have been made. The investigation is ongoing, police said in a statement on Tuesday. Footage taken from the scene on Monday night showed the security guard sitting on the curb surrounded by officers. According to CBS Los Angeles, it's unclear whether or not he could face any criminal charges. And this is self-defense? Hopefully not. I don't have the specifics. So this is an actual lieutenant, Santa Monica Police Lieutenant Rudy Flores told the news media. He says this, quote, I don't have the specifics on the actual knife. If it's a pocket folding knife, then yes, it is legal and he can be armed with it. It says in Los Angeles County, face masks are required in all indoor public settings, businesses, gatherings, and venues, regardless of vaccination status. Santa Monica is in Los Angeles County. So, some brief comments. If you know, this is the thing. If you're a lieutenant, a command staff member of a police department, you're a chief, commander, you name it, do not give a legal opinion. Here we have a Lieutenant Rudy Flores who gave a legal opinion, which is not accurate. He says that if it's a pocket folding knife, then yes, it is legal and he can be armed with it. No. Lieutenant, you have it all wrong. Do not avoid using the words legal. If you are a proprietary security officer, so meaning your in-house private security, and this is under the Business and Professions Code, if you have an officer that has a knife that is over 5 inches in length, then you have what's called a deadly weapon. When a private security officer who's uniformed, that is in-house security, in California only, if that person has a deadly weapon, that company needs to have a PPO license, a private patrol operator license. This is only in California. Lieutenant, you have it all wrong. You always put in here, and if you're gonna give a statement to the media, put it seems like he used a knife. We are investigating, or the prosecutor may decide whether or not he was legally able to be armed with it. Something to that effect, but don't put your legal opinion in here, okay? Okay, so let's break down everything here. So knife. Your state's going to vary. I'm in California. States tend to copy other states' ideas on weapons regulation for private security. So what goes on in California for armed security, for private security, could possibly be occurring in your state. So how much is 5 inches? Well, this knife here, okay, this is a Kershaw knife. How many inches do you think this is? Okay, just think. Answer yourself. We'll measure it. Okay. So this is from the blade. Okay, it's about 3 1/4 of an inch. Okay, not even 4 inches yet. 5 inches is up to here. Okay. Let's see this knife. Hopefully YouTube didn't see that. They're gonna probably get pissed off again and demonetize me again. It's fine. Do it for you guys. I'll take one for the team. This one is, guess. Very good to estimate. Okay, this one's about a little under 7 inches. Okay, maybe 6 inches, 6 1/4, a little bit under 7 inches. Okay, so this knife in California would be illegal to possess as a uniformed private security officer if you are working for an in-house employer, meaning this is not contract security. Let me know what your state says that. I'm not an attorney. None of the information I provide here is legal advice. Sometimes you have to, actually, you can assume that everything I'm telling you is wrong. And that's, I think that's the best way of explaining something. So you don't rely just on what I say, and you go out there, you talk to attorneys, you talk to business professionals, you talk to law enforcement and see what they have to say. But don't always take my word for it. But for the most part, these knives, they're not really regulated, okay? So if you're a contract private security officer in California, okay, as long as you are working for a private patrol operator license holder, you can carry one of these, okay? Now remember, it has to be, you can have a fixed blade exposed, and you would be perfectly fine. I'm not going to say the word legal, okay, but I can't find any code that says that you cannot carry this on you exposed. You carry it concealed, it becomes a dirk or a dagger, and this can be charged as a felony. It has to be exposed. What employer is going to allow you to carry this in California? Can't think of any. Okay, I can't think of any employer that will allow you to carry this. When you apply for insurance, commercial liability, depending on the form, you may have to disclose what weapons that you have. If you don't disclose this as a weapon and you end up using it, you might not be covered. It just depends on whatever the private security company policy, whatever the commercial policy says. Okay. If this guard worked for an in-house employer, worked directly for Vaughn's, okay, not contract security, he could have this knife on him and it'd be perfectly legal as long as it's not a fixed blade and it's concealed. Okay, folding knife is fine, especially this is under 4 inches. He'll be fine. So let's talk about what happened. And we don't have video, we don't have the full story. I'm just going to speak on a matter. I'm just going to speak in general terms, general ideas. Look, you guys, if you're watching this video and you're against the mask mandate, you guys, I feel for you. I really do. I believe that the vaccination is a good idea. I believe in getting vaccinated, but that's my personal choice. Those who don't want to get vaccinated and work in private security, if you don't want to get vaccinated, I support you as well. I hope you understand. But there's some people, they don't get it, you guys. Most businesses out there are private businesses, and you can determine who comes in or out of your business. You can determine who comes in your business, and you can tell whoever you want to leave the business if they don't comply with some type of internal policy. As long as the rule isn't discriminatory. And discrimination, when we talk about discrimination, we're talking about skin color. We're talking about national origin. We're talking about religion. If you don't want somebody to come in, or maybe because of an American Disability Act, maybe a violation, maybe somebody has a disability and you don't want them to come inside of your store because they have a disability, that would probably be illegal discrimination, okay? But discriminating upon people that don't want to wear a mask, you can generally do that. That's lawful discrimination. Not all forms of discrimination are illegal. You can do that. So you can say, hey, you don't want to wear a mask, then you have to leave the store. And society, the general public, you have to accept that. Otherwise, just go to another store. Okay, these are rules that are set forth by the individual owner or corporation of the stores. Okay, you don't have a right to go to Vaughn's. Okay, find another store if you don't like the policy. We have to be clear on that. As a private security professional, you may be tasked with enforcing these mandates. Also, if there are unmasked people in LA County, and I don't live in LA County, but if there's unmasked people in some of these stores, the business owner or the business can get fined a lot of money. So what they do is they hire security, like you guys, and they want you to enforce these mandates, and you enforce them by telling people to leave. It looked like this gentleman didn't want to leave, and there was some type of altercation. So now we got to talk about the use of force. When you use a pocket knife in self-defense, you're going to need a lot of an explanation. Okay, I cover about 3 to 4 hours of non-lethal force, lethal force in the force presentation in the security leadership course that I'm creating. I actually finished that video, and I'll show you some fragments of it. It is proprietary, but I do cover it. I do the research. I do teach on the college level, private college and community college, and the research that I did, it is solid. In my opinion, it meets the standards of academia, and you will like it. But I'm taking bits and pieces from that course, and we're having an explanation. So if you want to use a pocket knife, the force or the threat that's presented has to be an immediate threat, something that can happen very soon. And another thing is the threatened force against you has to endanger your life because of the threat being possibly deadly or causing serious bodily injury to you. In an altercation, I could explain a couple of ways how a security officer can justify using lethal force. This is lethal force. Okay, you're using this lethal force because this can cause great bodily injury. So if you're in an altercation and you feel like you're being suffocated, asphyxiated, you can't breathe. Okay, if you can't breathe and they're refusing to stop, okay, and you feel like you're about to die, okay, you can use this pocket knife. Okay, you can use this pocket knife. You can use a firearm if you need to. If it's just a fist fight and nothing much is, I mean, you're throwing punches, you're gonna have to have a reason for stabbing this person. Now, if it's a fist fight, okay, and you're not the aggressor, because if you're the aggressor, you lose the right to self-defense. If you're not the aggressor, and this person is starting to throw blows on you, and you're starting to lose consciousness, okay, well, you're receiving force that could result in serious bodily injury. Okay, in my opinion, you can use a pocket knife. Okay, if all other means, reasonable means are out the door, or they've been used, and you're feeling conscious, use a pocket knife. I highly recommend, though, that you have a plan. That if you use some type of deadly force like this knife, that you have some type of plan. You have an explanation, a debriefing or a briefing, not debriefing because that's after the fact. You have some type of discussion or briefing with the company that you work for. Hey, what should I do if this happens? And even with an attorney. There's some debate as to whether you want to talk to law enforcement or talk to an attorney or invoke your right against self-incrimination. That's your right. As a non-attorney, as a non-law enforcement officer, giving some suggestions. Well, it's not even suggestions. I'm just throwing ideas out there that you can discuss with with an attorney. I think you guys get it by now. I give tons of legal disclaimers. Don't take my word for it. I don't represent any law office, an attorney. I don't represent any government agency. This is just Sean's personal opinion. Law enforcement asked me what happened. Well, he did a good thing. This security officer did a great thing. Hey, I've been involved in an incident, and you know this person is an aggressor. I'm the security officer. That's good. Good. Hey, I've been in a self-defense incident. I like how he did that. Now, if the police are going to interview me, this is just me. I'd say this. I want to give you a statement. I'll tell you right now, I thought that I was going to die. This has been, I've never been in a situation like this. This is a life-altering event. Can you just give me a little bit so I can make some phone calls? But I want to eventually give you a statement. I'd rather do that than this. If you say this, I plead the fifth. I don't want to give a statement without the attorney. You guys, if there is probable cause to believe that you committed a crime, you are probably going to be arrested. You're going to probably be in jail, and you might need a bail out. I'm going to say this once again. If there's probable cause to believe that you committed a crime, you are probably going to be arrested, and you are probably going to be booked into jail. Let that sink in. Now, if you give a self-defense statement like, hey, and brief, I just been involved, this is a life-changing event for me, I thought I was going to die, okay, that brings some doubt as to, into one perspective. So if one perspective that is maybe the suspect's perspective is, hey, you just stabbed them for no reason, that's the only perspective. That's, depending on other facts, that's probably enough probable cause to believe that a crime happened, again, depending on everything. But the moment you establish doubt of credibility on the suspect, does law enforcement have probable cause to take you? Okay, that's when there's a teeter-totter there. They start hearing the words, law enforcement starts hearing the words self-defense, I thought I was going to die. Okay, they know what time it is. Okay, they start thinking, well, I don't want to arrest this private security officer because it does seem like a self-defense incident, because he or she mentioned the word self-defense, mentioned the words, I thought I was going to die, and they cut everything off because they said they were going to call an attorney. But to the law enforcement officer, that's normal. You've been involved in a critical incident. You're required to give a public safety statement, but not go into details about it. So law enforcement they're aware. Even if, I think if you mention, hey, I'll give you a public safety statement, I thought I was going to die, and this is all self-defense, just leave it as that. Police understand, because they have, in California, okay, they have the Peace Officer Bill of Rights, which gives them a right against self-incrimination. So they're used to contacting an attorney right after. So if you say, hey, I'd like to contact an attorney, then I think you're going to be fine in that. So that's all I can think of right now. This is kind of on the fly. My thoughts progressed as we went further into the video. I hope the private security officer that's involved in this incident, hopefully he's doing well, or she's doing well. This is a very traumatic event, and I just hope everything just works out for this person. If you know this particular security officer is involved, please forward the video. Hopefully everything goes well. That's all I have, you guys. Add information if you want. I always read you guys' comments, looking for you guys' input. I know that some of you want to say nothing, and that's fine also. But again, just keep in mind, if there's probable cause, okay, you're gonna be you could be arrested. If you throw a couple of words of doubt in there, there's that possibility that you may not. And I don't want you to think just because you self-defense that you're going to be arrested. I don't want you to think that. You got to survive the situation. Survival doesn't just involve the physical confrontation. There's also legal survival as well. Okay, that's it, you guys. Take care.